Welcome back, first timers. I'm David and this is Terry, and she has no idea what this video is about. So I wrote it on a cue card.
In this episode, I say yes to David taking me to Rad Bar Prom for the first time.
We're going to prom! Now that the initial shock is worn off, I think it's time you heard our prom stories. You might be thinking, how did Terry never go to prom? Well, she actually did go to prom.
I didn't have a date, but I went with a bunch of friends and we had a great time. We danced the night away.
And me, I didn't go to prom, for obvious reasons. I was actually pretty shy and actually graduated high school early, so I completely missed senior prom. But I was able to attend prom with a past girlfriend who took me to her prom. And it was a little bit different because it was at SeaWorld and it wasn't like a normal traditional prom, so it was fun. We got to see animals, go on rides, but it wasn't really the prom experience. This is our chance to relive our youth, 80s and 90s style.
The prom that we're going to is put on by Rad Bar here locally in Fort Walton Beach. They've been doing it for years. It's an 80s and 90s themed prom. It's not your typical prom dress that I'm going to be looking for. The event runs from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. and it's all ages until 9 p.m. At 12 a.m. they're going to announce the prom king and queen, and hopefully that's me and David. They also have door prizes that they're going to be giving away that range from paying your bar tab to free entry to Rad Bar, which typically costs about $10. That's the information about the prom that we're going to. But if you're going to your senior prom for the first time, here's some stuff that you might want to think about. First of all, and most importantly, your dress. You're going to want to get a really cool dress, and you're going to want to get it early because you might have to get it altered. And you might have to shop around for a while.
What do you think?
I'm not a fan of it. Wish it was about maybe an inch longer.
That's what she said.
It's a little tight, a little snug, but this is what I got.
But at least you look like you're going to prom. I look like I'm going to a funeral.
I look like I might be a hooker at the prom. Second most important is probably hair and makeup. And you can make an appointment with your local stylist that you see on a regular basis. And also, you'd probably want to make that appointment early. Maybe think about getting your nails done.
For you guys out there, you got some other stuff to consider. Maybe not dress and hair and makeup and all that, but you're definitely going to want to get a tuxedo or at least a fancy suit. You might be able to find a tuxedo at the mall, and if you guys don't know what that is, there are these big places in towns and cities where a bunch of stores are at the same place, and you can go from store to store kind of inside a place. But that's where we used to shop when we were kids. If not that, Men's Warehouse is always a good option where you can rent tuxedos, get them fitted, and then you're good to go for the event. Well, I don't know if I look like I'm going to the prom. I think maybe I overdid it. I got a jacket that kind of looked like the 80s, maybe early 90s with the wings and the shininess. I got this, I thought it was better than a bow tie, but I'm kind of regretting it now. And then this hat, I think I look like a magician or like Dios de Muertos. I'm not sure it's all working together, but at this point, it's too late. Today's the day. I think she looks 100 times better than me, but that goes without saying. But her outfit's just so much better. It looks 80s. But make sure if you have a date, you're gonna wanna get your corsage and your boutonniere. So find a good local florist where you can get corsages and boutonnieres that match your color scheme for you and your date. We went with our favorite florist, Connect with Flowers, in Shalimar, Florida. And it's one of the few florists around here that are still doing corsages and boutonnieres. They always come up with cool and creative ideas for things like this. So we're gonna head over there in a little bit and see what we can come up with.
We're here at Connect with Flowers to pick up our corsage and boutonniere. We have no idea what they look like. We left it up to the designers to come up with something great. Don't know if you can tell, but there's actually a slinky in here. This one also has a slinky, and it has a magnet back, so you don't have to worry about pins messing up your tux jacket. We got our flowers. We're gonna go home, pop them in the fridge until we're ready to leave. A lot of people like to do pre-prom pictures, so you want to pick a spot around your town, or maybe on a beach or on a dock. That would be a great spot for pictures for you and your friends.
cool. Oh man, I can't wait to see how that comes out. Cool. Other things to consider, restaurants. If you're in a small town, then a lot of the top places are going to get booked really quickly, so make sure you book your reservation early. And if you're looking for a fancy car or a limo, again, you're going to want to book early. If I didn't come up with this idea just yesterday, I would have booked the limo, but sadly, or happily, it's the same weekend as a bunch of other local proms, so all the limos seem to be booked out, all the fancy cars are booked out. You'll also want to make considerations for after prom parties. That's usually where the most fun happens. But we have a lot to do. Stay tuned. We're going to bring you along while we get ready for this prom. At this point, there's no going back. We don't have a limo coming. We're going to dinner. The rest of our prom party canceled, so it's just Terry and I going on the town looking like this. I'm really, really hoping that there's at least somebody else dressed up at this event, but it's gonna be weird for dinner because I know we're gonna stand out.
All right, we've arrived at Clemenza's for our pre-prom dinner.
How you feeling, Terry?
I'm feeling pretty awkward right now. Pretty awkward, sums it up. But everyone says that we look great, so.
We've done a lot of videos over the last year and a couple months, and this is the first time that I think either one of us have felt completely uncomfortable since our very first out and about video. We're the only ones dressed up for prom because really, why would anybody else be dressed up for prom? So it is a little awkward, but that's not going to stop the fun. Clemenza's restaurant has been a mainstay in this area for a long time. There are a couple other locations. This location was recently purchased by another restaurant. We've never been here before, and we haven't been here since. So this is going to be our very first time trying Clemenza's, but now it's under new ownership, and hopefully is just as good as everyone told us it was going to be. It's an Italian restaurant, but they're known for their wood-fired pizza. So we're gonna see what they have on the menu. We're not gonna do a whole food review like we normally do because it's our prom. So we're just gonna enjoy the food, try not to be that awkward, and get to the prom. But we definitely will show you the food as we get it.
This bread is really good. It's super soft, but on the outside it's crunchy.
We're keeping it pretty simple with the food that we're getting. They have a special salad that is their salad of the day. It's burrata cheese on the spring mix. We're gonna share that for an appetizer. And then I'm gonna get the pizza that was highly recommended by our server. It's called Regina Burrata, and it's kind of their specialty. But all their pizza's made in-house. They have really fancy dough. I've heard so many good things about it, so I'm gonna try that. And Terry's gonna go with the good old standby.
I'm getting the spaghetti bolognese. That's really good. The sauce is nice. The noodles are perfectly al dente. It's really good. Sauce is on another level. It's super sweet and tangy, and it's got a little bit of spice to it. I gotta get back to eating.
Terry's never really one for a lot of words when it comes to eating, but when it's pasta time, she's not talking. She's just gonna crush a bowl of pasta. But this pizza, man, it's wood-fired. It's crispy on the edges, but it is packed with all kinds of meat and vegetables and cheeses. It's a force to be reckoned with. I'm gonna give it a bite. That is a delicious pizza. And that crust is amazing. You could have put really anything on there and it would have been delicious. So we did say we were gonna do a whole review, but man, this pizza is really good. The sauce is sweet and tangy. It's packed with flavor. There is a crazy amount of toppings. The shredded Parmesan cheese, the prosciutto. I mean, it's packed so high. It's really delicious. Terry went with her standard vodka soda, but she went with Grey Goose because it's prom night. I went with their highly recommended Cosa Nostra, which is a old-fashioned but with an Italian flair. But what's really cool, it comes with this tiny little clothespin. It's the cutest thing ever. And it's perfect for hanging up Terry's dress later on tonight. That's all we gotta say about this. So we're gonna eat this. The next time you see us, we'll be over at prom.
Made it to prom here at Rad Bar in Fort Walton Beach. We're gonna go in and see what's going on.
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. I'm gonna roll with you till the day I die.
Some dancing starting to happen. There's some really good dresses. I don't know who's going to be crowned prom queen, but it could be me if we stay here long enough.
There are so many people in really good suits and tuxedos that I don't think I stand a chance. And I don't know if we're going to last until midnight to see who does win. But it is lively. They got a dance floor. They got a DJ. People are having a good time. Not a whole lot of people dancing just yet. But I think as the night goes on, people feel more comfortable and they'll get out on the dance floor. But right now, people are milling about, playing the games, meeting new friends, meeting old friends. And so I can see this night going pretty well for a lot of folks here.
What's your name?
Trey.
Hey, where are you from?
Virginia Beach.
All right. Did you go to prom?
I did.
What is the craziest thing that happened at prom, or what's your favorite memory from prom?
I can tell you, leading up to prom, we rented a limo and we snuck in Sprite and vodka mix, and we all got drunk before we went in, and then we left halfway through to go to an after party.
How was the after party?
It was way better than prom.
All right. Have a good time tonight.
Oh, thank you.
What's your name? Did you go to prom?
Oh, I didn't. I went to the after parties.
How was that?
It was good. I made a lot of money.
What did you do?
I sold, product.
Got it.
I had like a little briefcase, I showed up and I looked real nice. I made sure the parties were good.
Bet they were awesome.
They were great.
All right, have a good time tonight.
You too, thank you.
What's your name?
Sarah.
And where are you from?
Florida, actually.
Did you go to prom?
I did go to prom.
How was it? What was your favorite memory, or what was the craziest thing that happened?
My favorite memory was definitely getting on the floor with my best friends and dancing with them, actually. I was a COVID kid. Like, our high school, the rich kids put on the prom for us. Their parents brought out the country club. So that was really awesome, being a class of 2021 and everything, and we had that still.
Well, have a good time tonight.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Andrew,
Where are you from?
North Dakota.
Okay. Did you go to prom?
I did, yes.
Tell me a great story about prom, either something crazy that happened or your favorite memory.
Probably when I went to go and ask my date out, she was sitting at her locker. So I went up and I just talked to her. She told me straight up she didn't want to go because she had a bad experience beforehand. So I'm like, oh great, I don't know if this is gonna well.
Yeah.
But once the bell rang, I'm like, okay, I gotta do it right now. Want to go with me? And then she was like, oh yeah, we can go together. So I think that was probably my favorite.
Did you guys have a good time?
Oh yeah, it was great. So I really enjoyed it.
All right. Have a good time tonight.
All right, thank you.
Well, we had just about as much fun as we could possibly have at Rad Prom here in Fort Walton Beach.
We danced, we played games, we hung out with some friends.
It was a blast from the past, even though we didn't go to prom in the 80s, 90s, maybe the early 2000s. Man, this was a great time. People had a blast. Everybody got in the spirit, dressed up. We're leaving before prom king and prom queen gets announced because we're hitting our threshold world for fun today. Congratulations to whoever wins. If you like this video, check out this video over here, where we went to the best places in Destin for happy hour. Thanks again for following along in this episode, and join us next time when we try something else new for the first time.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. First timers.
High five.
Before we leave, we gotta take prom pictures. We don't have a photographer, so we just gotta make do with what we have. But we do have a really sick Polaroid camera.